Minnesota's got a little bit of life in the NHL, and also maybe a goalie change there for those Colorado Avalanche. Take a look at this game coming up, Joe. Slight favorites at the opening number at about a minus 118 price for the Avalanche. It's increased slightly here up to minus 130s and minus 135s in the marketplace. And look at that total, 6.5 goals are expected here. Minnesota, can they get even closer now back to the series, Joe? What's the spread line for you tonight here?
Well, back against the wall. They got it done at home, right? In a Game 3 situation. Couldn't go down 3-0. That's kind of what we expected. I mean, going into that last game, Donnie, everyone was like, oh, I thought we were going to get more from Minnesota. Like, listen, the series doesn't start till somebody wins a road game, right? It doesn't happen. And right now, listen, Colorado got to regroup a little bit, although they don't have to. I mean, goalie changes and everything else cracks me up when they were clearly the better team at home in the first 2 games. But, hey, this is an all-important game. Can Minnesota step up and get it done? We had said from the beginning, Donnie, no way are we sweating out an under in this series, in any game. And I'm not doing it tonight either. 6.5, that's fine. Lock it in. I'm on the over here. I'm expecting more. I don't care who's in goal. There is too much firepower on the ice in this game on both sides to think we're going to get a 2-1 game.
Busy Monday here on the SportsGrid Network. The early line, the place to be, rising and grinding, having fun, and you never know who's going to stop by. It's on the right side. It's Joe Ranieri. Welcome in Tom Vecchio. After a big-time weekend in sports here, we look forward to the PGA Championships this week, as well as great NHL action, Major League Baseball, and the NBA, Tom. A lot of stuff to get to today. How we doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, a lot going on this time of the season. Before we know it, OTAs and training camp will be here for the NFL, but still prime time for MLB along with the playoffs. As you said, I'm ready to go.
Enjoyed hockey over the weekend. Would like to see my Flyers extend the series, at least one more game against Carolina, but that's a good hockey club. 8-0 so far in the postseason. But I got to tell you, Tom, when I watch my Philadelphia Flyers, I'm like, yeah, they're a little bit ways away. They just need a little bit more skill, and every power play I watch is horrible. And that just doesn't count this playoff run, this regular season, and 5 years previous. The Flyers have been terrible. I tuned in a little bit yesterday because I've been really enjoying, Tom, the Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. I watched for about 15 minutes and saw a power play that almost had me falling out of my bed to perfection here. And we find ourselves with the Canadiens, a 2-1 series lead now over the Buffalo Sabres. Tommy, talk to me about this series and the Canadiens now with the upper hand.
They're certainly looking good, and the offense is finally coming through for them at a consistent rate. And, frankly, we keep seeing overs come through in this series. I will say the line's posted for, Game 4 has the line at 6.5 instead of 5.5. I've been playing the 5.5s, even with the juice at minus 130, minus 140. We're consistently getting scoring. I think this is going to be the inflection point in the series. We're going to start to see the unders come through. The Sabres themselves know they don't want to turn every game into a barn burner and try and win it 5-4 or 6-2 in this case. So I think this is where they kind of have to reel things in, and this is where we're going to start to see the under. So if you've been playing the 5.5s, that's great, but start to lean towards the unders now that we're seeing 6.5s out there.
I won't be doing it with the Ducks and the Knights. I'll tell you that, though, Tom. I am not sweating out unders in that series. Good job. I mean, for the Ducks, they just won't. They won't go away, man. 4-3 last night. Now, of course, 2-2 in the series. But as long as it's under 7, I'm likely betting the over moving forward.
It has to be. And frankly, it's like the Ducks to me are like a mini version of the Oilers that we've seen over the past few years. Like they have plenty of offense, and the goaltending and defense is a little bit shaky at times. That's really what it comes down to. And they're going to give up 3 goals, but they also can keep up with the scoring. So they're never a team that's truly going to get shut out. Like even, what was it, game 1 that they lost? They gave up 3-4 goals early, whatever it was, but they still scored 2 of their own. So if they can get the 2 goals, maybe a third of their own, you have to be looking to the over. And frankly, we're going to see one of game 6 or game 7 end 2-1. Just because that's what's going to happen in the game. But really, if you have a 7-game series, 5 or 6 of the 7 are going to go over.
Taking a look there at the Colorado Avalanche, we always think that they're probably the cream of the crop in the Western Conference, but dealing with a little bit of goalie issues. We know they can score, but the question is, can they stop other teams from scoring? Wild with a really good game number 3. I'm not saying the Avalanche are going to lose this series, but when you sort of take a look at the Carolina Hurricanes 8-0, really handling their business and waiting on the next opponent, how do you feel about the Colorado Avalanche, and are they in any trouble there in the Western Conference, or maybe just when they get to the Stanley Cup?
I think they are the best team in the West. This is not to say expecting them to go, 12-0 throughout the Western playoffs just to get to the Stanley Cup. I think they are better than the Wild. They do have their issues. For me, it comes down to just what we get from the top-end defense of Makar and Taves, because I do think that's one of the best duos in the league right now, and I think they can shut down any other teams, the opposing team's top unit. It really comes down to just the details of the game and beyond that, because they can keep up the scoring. They have the top end defense, the back end defense, and the goaltending, and shutting down, Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson and Matt Boldy and Quinn Hughes when they're on a power play. That's what it comes down to, limiting the scoring chances for the opposing team, and they can do their own scoring. I think they'll be fine.
That's going to be it's going to be a whole lot of fun there, Tom. I think ultimately, though, I mean, who's meeting in the Stanley Cup here? Who's meeting in the finals, do you think? Anything changed for you?
I still think it's going to be pretty chalky between the Canes and the Avs. I think that'll give us the best series. Top-end offense, great defense, great systems, and truly two teams that deserve to be there. As the Canes have deserved to be there over the past few years, they've just run into a mini dynasty with the Panthers, and we know that the Avs have plenty of playoff pedigree. Avs-Canes in the finals.
Hart Trophy finalists have been announced here, Tom. Nikita Kucherov, Nathan MacKinnon, and Connor McDavid as the three here. Should anybody else get any looks there? And also, who do you think wins the Hart Memorial Trophy?
For a portion of the season, I thought MacKinnon was just the outright favorite, as he should have been. And then we see Kucherov storm back. McDavid missed a little bit of time. A lot of people are going to say that Celebrini was snubbed. And, the gut reaction, or like the knee-jerk reaction, is, Celebrini deserves to be there. They should have at least 4 or 5 finalists. He deserves to be there. But, he wasn't top 3 in the league when it comes to points. He wasn't top 3 in the league when it comes to goals. And really the differential between 3 and 4, where he was at 4, and then MacKinnon with 127 points, and Celebrini had 115. Like, we're not talking about 3 or 4 points. We're talking about almost 15 point separation, which is a good amount. He really slowed down. The Sharks didn't make the playoffs. These other players, all their teams made the playoffs, albeit the Oilers and the Lightning got kicked out early. Celebrini deserves to be there, and frankly, Celebrini is going to be like the interesting pick next year. He's like, finally, he'll unseat one of the historic players that we've had before him. He'll be the pick next year.
All right.
So I'm just curious, though, because if we have Avs and Carolina, who's holding the trophy? Is it well, if that's the case, it definitely stays in the U.S., but who holds it, though?
For me, I still think that the top end talent that the Avs have, what they have top to bottom in terms of not just the scoring that they have, but the system that they have, and knowing that you're going to be getting consistent scoring out of multiple players. And listen, Logan Stankoven for the Canes has been awesome in the playoffs. We're still missing a little bit from, Sebastian Aho at times, Andrei Svechnikov. I want to see a little bit more scoring from them consistently. They have to get it going. Seth Jarvis was a little bit slow, but knowing that we have a player like Marty Necas alongside Nathan MacKinnon, we still have Makar, who's going to be the Norris Trophy winner. They have a little bit more top-end talent, and that's where I lean. It's like a 55-45 split, if you were to ask me how I put things. It's not some overwhelming favorite. I think the Avs are better. It's slight. I think it would go at least 6 if that were to be the matchup.
Let's get the ice advice that you need tonight. Game 4 in Minnesota, which saw a really impressive game by Minnesota, 5-1 in that game, easily upends Colorado. The series now sits 2-1. The Colorado Avalanche are the favorites still in this game, with the goalie change currently trading at 56 cents as the yes contract, which means, Joe, a $100 investment on the Avalanche would pay back $179 in a victory. But if the Wild can pull that upset, yes contract at 46 cents, that would be plus money. $100 investment pays back $218.
Well, can they do exactly what they did in Game 3, Donnie? Can they be more physical? Can they play from in front? And if they can, Minnesota home ice in front of those crazy fans, they will likely go ahead and head back to Colorado with this series tied 2-2. But, man, does it feel like Colorado's got a really good opportunity to head back with a 3-1 series lead. And at plus money, oh, boy, I want to take Minnesota, but I think ultimately, I think Colorado is a road favorite for a reason. I think I'm going to go with Colorado to get this one done here tonight.